Hey everybody, Kristin here. Welcome to today's podcast. Today's podcast is an introduction to a 6-part podcast series that I'm doing called The Body Remembers. Basically, it's where science helps you meet self-discovery and how we can unlock the wisdom that our body's already giving us to, transform more strength, resilience, all the possibilities for us, and to help us live healthier, more active, resilient lives with just the information that we're already carrying around. Through my years of working with fascia research, which we'll get more into, interoception, which is understanding the body, your signals the body's giving you, at any given moment, science, of course, and Pilates, and my own trial and error, I've noticed a lot of underlying truths, and this is what I use for myself, is when we align our body, mind, and spirit, progress happens faster and with a lot less effort. So we have more results, less time. So the realization of this became my newest web and app creation called Biospirit RX. And it's how we can all help ourselves move past what's been holding you back or what's keeping you stuck and into a place of performance, healing, lasting transformation. And this podcast, the 6-series podcast, is your gateway into understanding that journey, or how to understand how that biospiritual system works and how our body works with how we listen to ourselves when we can recognize and identify what's going on, and how that allows us to change and transform in ways that are almost magical. So the other cool thing is that there are now Harvard studies out and studies from the National Institute of Health that have been highlighting when we understand or just listen to ourselves, how that can directly inform our energy expenditure, our healing, our memory, our cognitive functioning, not just our physical functioning. So I will link those things down below and mention them later. But I wanted to give you an overview of the 6 podcasts and what you should expect to get out of each one. And it's sort of an arc of transformation. And even if you only, pay attention to one podcast or take away one way of, having a new dialogue with yourself, you're going to notice that it's a lot easier to understand what you're going through in life and make choices for changes that are so much better for you and for you personally. So episode 1 is called Awareness, listening to our inner signals. Our bodies are speaking to us all the time, and through sensations, tension, fatigue, even unexpected bursts of energy. A lot of times you'll notice if you walk into a room or a certain kind of crowd, you may feel tense, or you may feel foggy, or you may feel all of a sudden you have new energy, or you're in a flow state. And we're gonna uncover the science behind what's called somatic awareness, which is, what is my soma, my body, experiencing right now, and how to listen to that and not do anything about it, but just the awareness of, is my body speaking to me, and what is it saying? And how to talk to ourselves about what our body is experiencing and what it's saying. Because the way that we identify what's going on with ourselves has a big impact on how our body moves through it. And it's actually, you'll see, it's relatively easy once you get in a rhythm to understand this. But understanding it sometimes takes a little dialogue. So by the end of episode 1, you should be able to recognize and interpret your body's early warning signs, performance cues, and just the signals that your body is sending you. And it becomes sort of a neat journey or a neat experiment, because everywhere you go, you're like, whoa, this room is great for me, or whoa, this room isn't. And that's a really great step towards critical change and preventing things that you don't want to happen and seeking out things that you do want to happen. So that will be episode 1. Episode 2 is about regulation, or rewiring ourselves for resilience. So our stresses are not just in our mind, they live in our nervous system, which I think a lot of people know. And in this episode, now that we've, in the first one, identified what's going on and that our body is talking to us, in the next episode, we explore how to use our breath or our movement to move that sensation through our body, or to use it, in a positive way. And then how to apply our modern technology, which is fantastic, to be able to capitalize or multiply the effects of what we're getting. So if you walk into a room and you feel energized, like, how do we use modern technology to track that energy and then recreate it somewhere? Or you've experienced something and you feel destabilized or you feel poorly. How do we then use technology to identify that situation so we can avoid it or work on it? And onward into like what makes us calm. How do we reproduce that or stabilized? And whatever you need, basically, we can use our body's signals with modern technology to enhance our life experience. And it's not at the cost of a great time expense or a great money expense. And that's the beauty of it is just within our own, little ecosystem, we can make huge changes in our life, especially, as we continue to walk the earth. So in episode 2, you're going to leave with a sense of practical tools, and both in technology and within yourself, to shift the state you're in on demand, and build a foundation of balance in your life so that you can return yourself to a state of calm if you're overexcited, or you can return your state to energy if you're depleted, and that sort of thing, which, right, who doesn't want that? And then episode 3 is power and energy as medicine. So one of the studies from the National Institute of Health really focused on how when we can interpret our body signals, we can really use that to control our energy expenditure. And so once you're aware and you're sort of regulated around your energy, you can unlock deeper resources of your own energy. And this episode's going to dive into how to cultivate that bioenergetic creativity, energy, how to accelerate your healing and build strength from the inside out. I mean, that's one of the things that I use bioenergy for, or I use my own interpretation of how I'm feeling in my own meditation work, is to do just that. If you know me, then you know my bioenergetic capacity can be huge when I need to get something done, or I can just calm myself down when I need to, and then I can heal myself super fast. And I have a lot of strength from the inside out. So even though I might not look like a really giant, massive person, energetically I'm pretty big, and I can maintain and do all of the strength functioning that I want to all the time because I know how to build that strength, and I can heal quickly. And that is actually one of the things that I really want you to get. So this episode 3, is going to give you a sense of inner power, because I think being able to control our energy really delivers that to you, and the ability to control your own energy and your own healing and how to accelerate that. And, I know it starts with belief, and that can be a hard step, but when you understand the science and you read about it from outside sources like the Harvard Review or the National Institute of Health, and then you can start to apply it in these small but really tangible ways, it's going to start to build that belief system. And that's totally what I want for you. So episode 3 is a sense of power and a control over your own energy systems and healing. And then episode 4. So episode 4 is, now that we understand that our body's talking to us, we understand how to now use technology to help us influence, how we control that. And then episode 3 is taking that power that we know how to influence and really turning it up, turning it down, and directing it to where we want to for inner strength and resilience. Now we're in the flow. Now we're going to create effortless action. There's still effort, but you're going to learn how to tap into the zone. Like, you're going to tap into your flow state, and not by accident, which we often find our flow state by accident, but on purpose. So this episode blends movement and mindfulness and biofeedback to help you enter flow states on purpose for creativity, for focus, for peak performance, which also means for peak restoration. So let's say you like to go to cryotherapy, or you're doing drip therapy. You can use this flow state and this engineering to understand if this kind of therapy is working for you or not, or how much you need. You can really use this as a layer along with your existing practices to make sure you're maximizing your time and energy. So what you're going to get from episode 4, the key takeaway, is a repeatable process, tangible and repeatable process for accessing and sustaining the flow in your body and mind. So we've learned that it's talking to us. We've learned how to sort of recognize and cultivate it. Then we've learned that we have inner power, that we get to manage. And now we're going to find a repeatable process for accessing and sustaining those things that we have found, right? Very exciting. And then on episode 5 of The Body Remembers, we have the regeneration, like the really getting into the science of self-repair. So recovery is not passive, as you know. It takes intention. It takes effort, which is active. It's like active recovery, right? And in this episode, we're going to learn how to activate our body's innate systems of repair and deep restoration to prevent both burnout physically and emotionally and build long-term vitality. It is very possible to recover faster, to have less burnout, and to build practices that sustain your life. Again, I am 49 years old. I've been doing these things for about 25 years. And I can tell, as I keep marching the earth, that a lot of the practices that I build in because I listen to my body's signals are working. And they're a key to my happiness. They're a key to my healing. And we don't like to be in pain. We don't like when we can't heal. And we can influence ourselves, no matter who you are, just to make your life a little bit better today and a little bit better tomorrow. And all of those little things compound. Your health and wellness compounds maybe even more than your money, but it really does. And I think it's called Kaizen. It's the Japanese, the practice of becoming 1% better. And you can become 1% better in many areas of your life. But the key takeaway to episode 5 of the science of self-repair is faster recovery, less burnout, and the practices that sustain your life, not somebody else's, but your life. And so listening to ourselves actually gears us towards youth. So one of the Harvard studies that I'll mention later has shown that people that practice 20 minutes of listening to themselves had maybe it was 10 or 13 key biological aging markers that started to go back towards youth. And I know that memory was some of that, muscle repair, strength, endurance, calm, peacefulness, and clarity. And those are big deal things. And so then finally, in our 6th episode, it becomes integration and expansion, right? How do we integrate everything that we just discovered and learned? And how do we take this ancient wisdom that we've been born with? Because as you've been born with a human body, you've been born with a human brain and the ability to go, oh, that's hot, that's cold. I like that, I don't like that. So how do we integrate our ancient wisdom with our cutting edge technology that we have privileged to have access to, and create clear roadmaps for ourselves, our personal evolution? And this is where you're going to learn how to craft your unique blueprint for life and lifelong human potential. And it doesn't mean you have to create this big diagram and hit all these marker points unless you want to. It's more like, what is the personalized practice that for you is going to help you achieve these things and be happy and ultimately, live long after this series ends and after, and live a long, healthy life so that you're not in pain and suffering, but you're really still seeing how your story plays out and how your family and your loved one's story plays out. So my hope for you is that you will take something away from this series that has a great and positive impact on your life. I think that a lot of the health and wellness community is becoming more aware of the positive benefits, especially as studies come out, of listening to ourselves and just taking that on and being responsible for it, and then combining it with modern technology, and boom, you can really help things. And this is the education and introduction to my new system, the BioSpirit RX app and website. And I was talking a little bit about that in that Pete Moore interview. And basically what it's going to do is it's using modern technology to help you, create that blueprint and understand on a day-to-day or even a moment-by-moment basis what you're going through and how you can help yourself. And I have a mentor bot in there that is based off of me. And it's very much me in the way of asking you a question. And if you say, hey, I'm not into that today, or I feel like X today, then it's like, okay, cool. Let's meet you where you're at and do that. Or it'll say, hey, if you're feeling like you're just on fire today, then let's just keep going. Let's push you through a few of your biomarkers so that you can just be ultra awesome. Or in a planning sense, like, what do you have coming up? Like, if we could wave a magic wand, what would happen today? And it comes at you in that sense of like, let's take your temperature And then from that temperature, let's talk about the 3 things you can tell yourself in this moment that will help you. How do we talk to ourselves? And what is technology going to give you that can help you? And, what is your personal energy system today, and how do we ramp that up or take it down? So basically, this series is going to teach you what I'm talking about so that you can just use that in your life. And then to take the journey beyond that on a day-to-day basis, my app and website is going to offer you personalized guidance, adaptive daily practices, and basically a digital mentor that acts like I do, wherever you are and whenever you are. And it will tailor itself to you right after like the first use. It's pretty cool. And, I'm excited to bring this to us. I really believe that the future of wellness and, and personal health is not more data. It's how do we interpret that data? How do we understand what's already going on with us, what we already have access to? Because transformation isn't really about doing more. It's about doing what works for you. So less work equals more results for you because you're a little different than somebody over there. Although community is really important. And within my app and website, the community aspect will be huge. So join me in the next episode and try to unlock your wisdom within and understand that your body remembers what you have gone through, whether your brain does or doesn't, and you can use that information to really help you and help a lot of things in your life. So thank you guys for joining me. As always, subscribe, click like, share with people, and I'm always open to anything you have to say, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks again. Hey everybody, thanks for watching and listening. You can find all episodes on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, and iHeartRadio.